Whether you call it soda, soda pop, Coke, or just pop, this carbonated creation has been around for hundreds of years. In that time, it's seen many evolutions in its use, marketing, recipes, and most importantly, its packaging. From pharmacy fountains to sleek modern cans, soda has seen several significant manufacturing inventions dating all the way back to the 18th century. But why has it been the subject of so much innovation? And who got to decide how many cans go in each box? Well, today we're unboxing the question, why is soda packaged the way it is? But before we get started, be sure to subscribe to the Weird History Food channel and let us know in the comments what other can of history you would like us to crack open next. Okay, now if only they'd make a Dr. Pepper bottle that glows in the dark. Today, soda is mass-produced and shipped all around the world as part of a multi-billion-dollar industry. But its beginnings were much more humble and surprisingly healthy. Carbonated beverages were first developed in the 1760s by an English chemist named Joseph Priestley, who was trying to replicate the natural properties of mineral water. This mad soda scientist was able to infuse water with carbon dioxide by suspending a bowl of distilled water over a vat of beer. Over the decades, other scientists refined Priestley's experiments and added flavoring like honey and lemon to their bubbly brews. Soon, carbonated water, also known as soda water, was being made, bought, and sold over the counter. Originally, these drinks were intended to be medicinal in nature, so the counter they were being sold over was that of your local pharmacy. Soda water was meant to cure stomach aches and various other ailments. But thanks in part to the invention of root beer in the mid-1800s, the attitude toward carbonated beverages started to shift in a decidedly more delicious direction. Though root beer was also originally sold as a cure-all, the sarsaparilla sweetened drink showed consumers that its main benefits were more of the thirst-quenching variety. Suddenly, soft drinks were a tasty treat instead of a stomach-soothing serum. In 1886, American pharmacist John Pemberton rocked the world with his contribution to the growing soda industry, a combination of African cola nuts and South American cocaine. He dubbed this, energizing drink Coca-Cola. Though Pemberton would die just 2 years later, in 1888, the Coca-Cola company lived on and swiftly became the largest soft drink company in the world, possibly because of cocaine. Today, it retains its legacy with an impressive 46% share of the global market, making tens of billions of dollars a year in revenue. But the Coca-Cola we know today looks and tastes a lot different than it did in 1886, and not just because they changed the recipe. During its early days of popularity, soft drinks were sold strictly from soda fountains and thus were served in glasses. But thirsty consumers wanted to bring their favorite drinks home with them, and so a new method of manufacturing had to be created. While German inventor Jakob Schweppe had been bottling seltzer since the late 1700s, the practice didn't catch on for soda in America until the 1800s. Safely sealing carbonated drinks in glass bottles proved to be a dangerous scientific puzzle to solve. Carbonation requires pressure to occur. Too much pressure can be, well, explosive. But too little means your fizzy drink will fizzle out. Manufacturers had to find a way to balance the pressure and still seal the bottle. The solution came in 1892, when Baltimore-based machine shop operator William Painter patented the first-ever method of keeping the beverage bubbly, a crown-shaped bottle cap which is still used today. Just a few years later, in 1899, the Coca-Cola company jumped on the bottling bandwagon, which helped spread the drink's popularity throughout the country. Like most other soft drinks around this time, Coke's bottles were tall cylinders with bulky blob tops. But as the industry ballooned and manufacturers sharpened their skills, more elaborate designs started popping up all over the place. By 1916, Coke's now iconic bottle was beginning to take shape. The company's board of trustees wanted a bottle so distinct that you would recognize it by feel in the dark or lying broken on the ground. Apparently, they wanted you to be able to identify Coca-Cola in the middle of a bar fight. And so the bottlenecks were tapered down. The bases were reshaped, and the brand's looping script was imprinted onto the green glass. Each bottle weighed about 14.5 ounces, with an additional 6.5 ounces of Coke poured inside. By 1957, Coke ditched the green glass and added fluted lines to create a design that's still recognized the world over. But Coke wasn't the only soft drink in the market for a distinctively branded bottle. Pepsi Cola was created all the way back in 1893 by Caleb Bradham. And in 1906, it too went in search of a bottle patent. For much of its early existence, Pepsi opted for a simple clear glass bottle with an ergonomically wide base and a long, skinny neck. In 1958, they swapped simple for swirly with the release of the swirl bottle. And while it's seen plenty of redesigns and overhauls, the swirl pattern remains a staple of Pepsi bottles today. The next major overhaul of bottle design came in the 1970s, when both Coke and Pepsi decided to step away from glass altogether in favor of the hot new miracle product, plastic. After an initial boom after World War II, plastic goods saw a second wave of popularity in the 1970s, thanks to improvements in the manufacturing process. Plastic was sold as a clean, inexpensive, and disposable option for things like grocery bags and food packaging, even though the reality is that plastic's durability makes it much more environmentally unfriendly. Both Pepsi and Coke got in on the ground floor, selling their soft drinks in lightweight plastic bottles, which cut down on costs and made shipping their products significantly easier. But things really took a turn when Pepsi introduced the world to the beverage hulk that is the 2-liter PET plastic bottle in 1978. PET plastic, also known as polyethylene terephthalate, was specifically invented to be as lightweight as possible while holding more liquid than ever before. In the 1930s, 6-ounce soft drinks were the norm. By 1955, American appetites had increased and soft drinks doubled in size. The largest available cup size reached a record 21 ounces by 1974, which is still less than 1 liter. When Pepsi's 2-liter PET bottles hit store shelves just 4 years later, they were an instant hit. The impossibly thin plastic products quickly found their way into homes across America, thanks to the relatively low price point and the novelty of being able to buy a sizable volume of soda in one gigantic bottle. These days, 2-liter bottles are simply a fact of life, so the novelty has long since worn off. But they are a distinctly American phenomenon, so why are they measured using the metric system? Well, it just so happens that the advent of Pepsi's 2-liter bottles lined up with a push to switch America from the imperial system to the more universal metric system. Well, that push ultimately failed. Pepsi's 2-liter bottles became so popular that they stuck around, and other companies even adopted the same unit of measurement. Today, plastic remains a popular material for soda bottles, though your most insufferable friends probably insist that glass is the ultimate soda receptacle. Glass is said to better preserve flavor, leave less of an aftertaste, and remain colder longer than plastic. Well, you're welcome to argue over how much any of that matters. Don't forget, there is a third option. Metal cans have been used for soft drinks since 1938, when Massachusetts-based manufacturer Clico Club developed their first cone-shaped cans for ginger ale. But they weren't particularly popular. Though they were less fragile than glass bottles, early metal cans were made of tin-plated steel, which gave the drinks a distinct metallic taste. Eventually, cone-shaped cans gave way to flat tops, which had to be punched in to drink from, and an acid-resistant liner was developed to tamp down on that metallic-y taste. This somewhat improved the can's appeal, but there wouldn't be a true revolution until American engineer Emil Fraise invented the pull tab in 1959. As the story goes, Fraise forgot his can opener at home while on a camping trip with his family. He was forced to use the bumper of his car to open his beer. The experience was so frustrating that Fraise went on to invent a device that was built into the top of a can that could easily open it without the need for a secondary tool. What else was he supposed to do? Not drink beer on a camping trip? Please. The pull tab became the standard issue, and by 1960, Coca-Cola had fully embraced the aluminum can. Their cans were released with distinctive red and white packaging, featuring an illustration of their iconic bottle on the side. Pepsi quickly followed suit, and with the backing of the 2 leading soft drink companies, aluminum pull-tab cans became the prevailing style, which are still used today. Of course, the shape of the can has improved over the years. Beveling was added to the top and bottom of the otherwise flat cylinder to better withstand the pressure of carbonation and to provide a better grip while opening the can. They were also supposed to be easier to stack when loose, which became less of a problem in 2001 when Coke changed the game with the invention of the fridge pack. The fridge pack is a long cardboard carton which holds 12 cans of soda at a time. Before their invention, most companies sold soda cans in large cardboard flats, which took up a significant amount of refrigerator real estate. The main selling point of the fridge pack is its condensed shape, which means you have even more room in your icebox to stockpile your choice of seasonally released soda, or vegetables, I guess. The fridge pack was immensely popular upon release, and it has become the most used way to package soda cans across all soft drink companies. But since we can never leave well enough alone, Coke and Pepsi are still fiddling with their cans. In 2011, Pepsi released a taller, sassier Pepsi can, which was met with some derision and even panned as being offensive and thoughtless by the National Eating Disorders Association. Still, skinny cans have persisted and are even seeing a resurgence across all soda brands. Despite the name, skinny cans hold just as much liquid as their wider companions, that being about 12 ounces of sweet, delicious soda. The original short cans have more horizontal surface area for branding, but skinny cans are able to be packed more tightly together. That means larger quantities of product can be shipped at one time, and more cans can be shoved onto store shelves. Skinny cans are also marketed as premium, and sometimes even healthier options than your standard shorties, despite them being essentially the same in every way except height. Still, no matter how it's marketed or packaged, soda continues to be a wildly popular beverage with no signs of falling flat, unless they figure out how to make a flat can, somehow. So what do you think? Does soda taste better out of a certain container? Or is it all the same? Let us know in the comments below, and while you're at it, check out some of these other weird history food videos.